It's a lot of preparation. It's hours, it's sleepless nights, it's hauling anywhere, everywhere you can. But it also comes from at home. Like, it comes from just the day-to-day little things that, you know, they seem little, but they're not so little. And just being able to get into your horse's brain and understand them and know that, you know, if we're not on the same page and we're not connected, I shouldn't expect her to do anything good for me. If we are, you know, who's to stop us? So those are a couple things that I think is just a game changer, is honestly just being able to have that energy that's positive, which I struggle with because I'm always like, oh, we're doing this bad and this bad, and being able to have calm nerves, and just trust, you know, trust the process, trust your horse. You know, we're here to have fun. You know, it's a blast. You can come out smiling, even if your horse embarrasses you. So I went in with that. I was like, you know, she embarrasses me, I'll laugh it off. And that's what you do. Like, if they feel the energy that I'm going to be disappointed in them, then they're not going to want to go and perform again because it's going to make them feel bad. So horses feel that.
I love that. We put a lot on our horses sometimes and we don't realize it.
Yeah.
And if we go in, you know, having those expectations, it's not that you don't have expectations, but I love what you said about, like, this is about celebrating what you guys have learned. And I know that there are a lot of people with horses, and one of the things I admire about you is when you work with a horse, you want to make sure that that horse is safe and has a good experience. You told me before, like, I won't start a horse, and, you know, like, for a first ride until I'm certain that that horse is quiet, trusting, and confident, so that we're not going to have a rodeo or a buck fest, that horse and you are going to do well. What would you say to somebody who's watching this, who's like, well, you know, she trains horses and she can ride horses? Because you talked about that celebration, but there's sometimes with people's horses where things don't go as planned and they don't feel celebratory.
Yeah.
They don't feel like they're winning. They feel like they're in this valley and things are tough, and they feel like that vision of where they want to get is so far removed from where they are. What would you say to someone like that?
I would say, you know, take the wins. You're working with an animal that is a flight animal that literally survives on its instincts. So when we take it in and we domesticate it and we train it, we're literally teaching them to go against their nature. That's not what they were created for, per se. And so we're asking them to do all these things that they're not naturally meant to do. And so take the little wins. Like, every day you go work with your horse, pinpoint one thing. Say, I want my horse to look at me when I go catch it. Like, I don't want it to just turn away and run off. I want it to actually acknowledge that I'm coming to get it. Take that as a win if they look at you. There's something that goes around that says, look for just that 1% every day, you know, and at 100 days you have 100%. It really is, you know, it's always like, you know, a step forward or 2 steps forward, a step back, 2 steps forward, a step back. Sometimes it's 3 steps back and you're like, feel behind. But, you know, that's unpredictability of horses, and we just have to humble ourselves to know that if we can get 1% from our horse that day, we need to end it on that, celebrate, thank our horses, tell them what a great job, and they crave that. They crave the positivity, just like people. Like, if you go work with someone that's always negative, you're like, I don't want to be with them. Right. But then they compliment you and you're like, man, I want to be around this person.
Sure.
So it's the same thing with horses.
Awesome. I know there's an auction at the end. Mm-hmm. Are you selling Nostalgia? You're not going to sell her?
She's here for keeps.
Keeping her? Is this long term? Do you think you're going to keep her? What are your plans with her?
Well, you know, anything can happen. Life's unpredictable. You know, things could change tomorrow. God might have other plans, but I want to hold on to her permanently. My plan is for her to be my Tricks and Liberty horse for demonstrations and clinics and stuff. I'd love to travel with her. And she's just so well-rounded. She can do about anything. She's a type you'll be able to eventually give kids lessons on during the week and then go show and win ribbons on the weekend. So that's my goal. You know, she's going to be an all-arounder, help me start some horses, do Western English. That's the plan, but she's special, so she's staying.